I decided to push on a bit with my new piece of software called Track DNA, which I have been up until this point using to analyze existing tracks and determine song structure, look at some of the patterns involved in it, that kind of thing. But just as an experiment, I decided to try something else. So what I did is I pointed it at a YouTube playlist. I grabbed like the top 100 newest drum and bass tracks. And what I asked it to do was to go through all of them, split it out into stems so that I would get the drum track, and then find the most intensive part of it and then use it as a loop. And so what I've ended up with here is this sort of thing. Worked remarkably well. So then what I can do is I can take that and I can split that out on the transients. So using the volume of the track, I can work out where all the hits are, and some FFT, which is a fast Fourier transform, to actually extract some of the spectral information out of it. And that splits it into separate drum hits and also generates a MIDI file, which gives me basically the pattern that I can use within the track. This is easy to do. I've now got, what, 100, 150 loops there from the latest drum and bass tracks that I could use in my own tracks. Back in the old days, let's call it, back in, say, when the Prodigy was around, Fatboy Slim, people like that, they used to sample this sort of stuff off records and then they'd put it into their own tracks and use it. Nowadays, that's extremely difficult to do. Not technically. Record companies are onto it, and if you start using commercial music like that, you need to pay for it for a start, and it costs a lot of money. Yeah, those days of kind of grabbing things that you find and using them, certainly without permission, are kind of long gone, and you really need to make your own. So I'm using this more as just reference material more than anything else, rather than trying to use it in a commercial environment. So here's the output of our program. It's taken that loop and it's split it up into pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag these out into Logic. Now you could do this with Ableton as well. I'm going to put it in here on the sampler. That will assign then to each of these notes one piece of that slice. And it's also created a MIDI file as well. That gives me here a loop. So let's just have a listen to that now. So each of these is a note. So what's happening is that it's timed here. It's created a note that goes along with that slice. And so I can actually create a drum kit out of this if I wanted to, and I can reorder this loop, do whatever I like with it. So this is not so much a piece of audio in a loop that you can speed up and slow down. It's an actual cut up splices effectively. And so this means I could also change the tempo as well. And we're not losing any quality there because it's literally just triggering samples on the beat.